Discomfort doesn't mean danger. Okay. When it comes to growth, when it comes to establishing a new sense of self-worth, self-identity, peace of mind, you will be uncomfortable. Period. The reason why you're uncomfortable is because you are now having to consider, what do I take with me? What do I leave behind? Okay, what is assisting me on this journey? What is actually making me detour? Am I willing to give that up? And that's the hardest thing, I think, when we have to make these big adult decisions in terms of what happens next. We are more worried about our self-image, what other people will think. Okay, what am I going to lose? Okay, because sometimes we'll talk about how bad certain relationships are, but we're not talking about how we benefit from them. Because, for example, you hear a person complain about a certain dynamic or relationship or scenario constantly, every day. They're constantly complaining about the same thing, the same person, same job. What are you willing to do differently? Oh, well, I can't do anything. Yes, you can. You can do something, right? We can always do something. It's just a matter of how uncomfortable are you willing to be? Okay, are you willing to go without money for a certain period of time? Are you willing to budget differently because you know you're going to have to make this choice, right? What are you willing to do to get to where you want to be? And when you ask that question and you pay attention to how you yourself rationalize, all right, or you listen to how other people rationalize, you will understand a lot of times we are afraid of change and growth because it requires us to be responsible. It's the unknown, and we are not in control of every single thing. We're just in control of ourselves, okay? And the fact that we can't control everything else or everybody else, well, that takes the fun out of it, because I am not allowed to place you where I need you to be for the rest of this story to play out, okay? Instead of me placing you right here, where it's like, okay, I say this line, you respond this way, and then I move on. It's like, oh no, you're probably gonna be over here, and you probably can't hear what I need to say, and I probably can't hear you in return, or you might not be happy with what I have to say, and you're gonna respond how you respond from your own stuff, okay? A lot of times we will avoid growth because it requires us to actually grow up. And this is where the fire drills versus actually putting out fires comes into play. Okay, we can posture that we are doing the work. You know, we can present ourselves as enlightened, as doing the things, but when it comes down to it, like, are we really doing it? Are we really about that life? You can be honest with yourself. You don't necessarily need to be honest with other people right away, but you do have to be honest with yourself. You know, one of the things whenever I talk about friendship, for example, when I talk about capacity, when I talk about, you know, boundaries and how they go both ways, everybody has access to them. There are people who try to defend or justify how they behave in relationships. And I always say this: the beautiful thing about our relationships is they will always hold up an honest mirror. Okay? They will always hold up an honest mirror in terms of how we show up. No matter what we say to other people, our relationships will always reflect back the amount of effort we are putting into them. Somebody may say, well, yeah, I'm putting in all this effort and people just keep failing me. Okay, so that shows you're putting effort into the wrong things, but you're also giving effort from the wrong place. Okay, are you doing this because you want people to like you? Or are you showing up with effort, being aware of how this person is behaving and adjusting yourself? Be honest. Because if you can be honest, you could at least make change, an uncomfortable change, to actually grow. And a lot of times you can be honest too and say, yeah, well, maybe I'm not ready for an honest, healthy connection. Maybe I'm not ready for those kinds of friendships because they actually do have a certain level of responsibility I'm not used to and I'm not ready for. It's very easy to say what we want, but what are we willing to show up with? And that's where the truth lies, okay? That's where the truth actually lies. So it's important for you to be mindful of when you are just uncomfortable with growth. And remember, like, why am I uncomfortable with growing? What have I been told about growth? What are the rumors I hear about growth? You suffer, okay? You fail, you're going to be hated. Sometimes we treat our previous experiences, or we give them too much importance, if that makes sense. We think that this is the only experience we'll have in life. We think that these are the only people we will have in life, so we will stick to that because they're familiar, right? We know them. They've been here. So yeah, I'll settle into this. And I'll become resentful. I'll become bitter. I'll become a shell of a human. And then even when I'm approached by new things, better things, healthier things, I don't even know what to do with that stuff. And I'm so fearful of letting these things go that I will pigeonhole these things that I don't even value. Okay? I like them, but I place more value here. And these things I'm willing to let go of. This, not so much. And isn't that funny? It's always the things that are healthier for us that we get rid of. All right? I always, when my clients, when they are in stress, I could always tell. I could always tell. Okay? Their patterns become different. And I ask them, I'm like, hey, what have you been up to? What have you been keeping consistent with? Oh, you stopped journaling? Oh, you stopped exercising? Oh, your sleeping is off? Oh, your eating is off. Okay. Have you been keeping up with your connections? Oh, you haven't? Interesting. What's your stress like? Okay. Whenever we are under a lot of stress, we get rid of the things that are healthiest for us first. Because while they are requiring responsibility, they're not as demanding. And isn't that interesting? We say we want good things until we have them. Okay? I want you to pay attention to your discomfort with growth and why. I want you to take a look around your life and ask yourself, where have I been resisting my responsibility to growth as of late? Okay? Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be willing to grow up.